Fargo, and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
The verdict is in for William Hain. A jury has found him not guilty of helping murder Savannah Graywind.
Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley has been following this trial, and she was there today when the jury announced its decision. Bailey?
Mike, Andrea, the jury deliberated for about 9 hours in the past 2 days before deciding to acquit Hain of conspiracy to commit murder. Prosecutors said Hain planned and helped his former girlfriend Brooke Cruz kill Savannah in August of last year. However, the defense told the jury Hain is only guilty of covering up that murder. After working on this case for the past 13 months, the prosecution says this is very disappointing.
This young, beautiful woman no longer exists. And the people who did this to her, although one is serving a life sentence and one has pled guilty to some other things, how do you ever vindicate that?
Savannah Graywind's family was in the courtroom this afternoon wearing red in her honor, but they declined to make any comment. Now, although Hain looked relieved after his verdict, he is not walking free. Hain has already pled guilty to conspiracy to commit kidnapping as well as giving false information to police, which means he could spend the next 21 years in prison. Mike, Andrea.
All right, thanks so much for the coverage, Bailey.
It sure is chilly out there, but at least we haven't seen this yet in the FM area. Yes, that's snow, and it's in Roseau. The video was taken outside the Bear and Bean Company this morning. Hutch is here now to let us know whether more of that is on the way. Hutch?
Well, not a lot of us are going to see flakes of snow, but we have had reports recently in Thief River and on out towards the Walker area of a few flakes mixing in, even though it's not showing up well on radar. The Arrowhead of Minnesota is where the focus of the flurries are flying. Clear skies in southeast North Dakota, but as you notice, temperature-wise, nobody warm. If you're heading out to Friday night football in northern Minnesota, bring the jacket and a heavy one with some gloves. 35 already in Badette. It's 44 in Jamestown and 39 in Grand Forks. A freeze warning region-wide for temperatures that will be dipping below freezing for several hours. So if you have tender vegetation, bring those in, cover up the garden vegetables as well. This evening, the good news is we won't have a lot in the way of wind. Now, if you're planning on getting out and supporting the local teams this Saturday morning, it looks brutally cold as mentioned, but some could see a few flakes then. I'll have details on that and the rest of your weekend outlook in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
Fighter or first responder, anybody going to a scene, they're not going to pull in behind you after you pull over. They'll most likely just be going around you.
You're driving at night in a dark, deserted area when you see those blue lights flashing behind you. A whistleblower recently told us that happened to her here in Fargo. But the lights turned out to be from someone's phone app. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz finds out what to do when you're pulled over and how to tell when it's not legit.
Pull to the right.
Rhett Mavity bought these lights online back when he was in McKenzie County.
The lights are very important, especially around there with the high volumes of traffic and all of the truck traffic.
It's because he's a volunteer firefighter.
They weren't required, but out there it's something that a lot of volunteers have and use just for the benefit of just being safe.
But recently, a cop in Dunn County pulled him over for having them. Apparently, the week before, they found someone else with similar lights.
And the person driving that car had pulled over somebody on the highway or attempted to using those lights.
Trying to perform duties as a police officer, if you are not a licensed police officer in the state of North Dakota, it is a crime.
And this just happened here in Fargo. A whistleblower tells us someone used blue and red lights from a cell phone app to try to pull her over, but she didn't fall for it. To test it out, I had Rhett download a Police Lights app on his phone.
I can barely see that.
And maybe it was the daylight, or maybe it just wasn't a good app. But I couldn't see anything in my rearview mirror. Assistant Chief Boyer says you should be able to tell the difference between a phone app and the real thing.
The vast majority of our squad cars are very well lit. It is not going to be just some small phone app with little lights going on the dash or something that obviously looks like it's being handheld.
But even the unmarked cars
still say police on the license plate.
And if you're still suspicious, Boyer says you can call 911 and make sure a real cop is actually pulling you over. But he stresses, only if you're in a sketchy situation.
Calling 911 when you're getting pulled over by a squad car that's marked or a car that's well lit up or a uniformed officer ties up the 911 system, so we don't want people calling 911 every time they're getting stopped.
In other words, if you actually commit a violation, you may just need to own up to it. In West Fargo, Rose Iskowitz, Valley News Live.
Assistant Chief Boyer says it's important to notify police immediately if someone is falsely trying to pull you over. They want to investigate anyone attempting to impersonate police.
A judge has set bail at $750,000 for a man accused of killing his father. 34-year-old Christopher Riley is booked on murder charges. Fargo police say he was arrested at Lindenwood Park around 11 last night. Investigators say he killed Kevin Riley Sr. in a South Fargo apartment last week. Officials say no plea has been entered and his preliminary hearing is set for October 31st at 9 in the morning.
It's Friday. That means it's time to check out this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say 31-year-old Brandon Morin is wanted for aggravated domestic assault and parole violation. His picture is up on the screen right now. Call local law enforcement if you have any information on this man or his whereabouts.
A Dunseith man was arrested after leading Grand Forks police on a chase that ended with a crash. It happened before 1 this morning. Police say 20-year-old Holden Myers refused to stop when officers tried to pull him over. He drove out of the city on his motorcycle, lost control, and took off running before he was arrested. He was hurt in the crash, but we're told is expected to be okay. He's facing multiple charges.
Facebook says almost 50 million user accounts have been compromised by a security breach. The company says hackers exploited its View As feature, which lets people see their profiles look like to someone else. CEO Mark Zuckerberg says there's no evidence that the hackers misused any private information. Facebook says it has taken steps to fix the flaw and alerted the FBI after discovering the hack on Tuesday. The company says it does not yet know who's behind the attacks or where they're based.
A former Fargo Force player and active duty officer with the Air Force is said to need the force of modern medical miracles to fight a big battle. Chad Demers was diagnosed with stage 4 glioblastoma, which is a type of brain cancer that's very difficult to treat, and we're told a cure for it is nearly impossible. But he and his family are not giving up hope.
Thankfully, I also have what's called an IDH mutation, which it helps the patient respond to treatment better, and it's been proven to prolong life and has a more favorable prognosis.
A benefit hockey tournament is being organized to help the family with expenses, and a GoFundMe page is also set up. For more information or to donate, go to our website, valleynewslive.com, and click on this story to see the links.
We wish them the best. Coming up later on Valley News Live at 6, why you should keep your eyes to the sky at Saturday's tailgate for NDSU.
Up next, a little science behind the beautiful change in colors this time of year.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are, whenever you need to know. Valley News Live. You're watching Valley News Live on KVLY, your hometown NBC station.
Hey! Hi, just stretching out.
Now is the perfect time to save on a beautiful new floor. Hurry into Floor to Ceiling Carpet One's National Tigressa Sales Event. For the first time ever, get 60 months special financing on a great selection of floors. That's 5 years. Save on hardwood, luxury vinyl, tile, and carpet, including super soft and stylish Tigressa carpets. The softer, stronger carpet. Don't miss our limited time 60-month special offer during the National Tigressa Sales Event at Floor to Ceiling Carpet One.
Your time to get the toughest truck in the Northland, and soon. Don't miss the Northland Edition F-150, 2018 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. It's got best-in-class towing and payload, also best-in-class gas mileage, plus other smart features to tackle whatever the Northland throws your way. It's your last chance to get a 2018 Northland Edition F-150. Now lease a Northland Edition F-150 for just $229 a month, or get over $9,000 in total savings at your local Northland Ford dealer.
When I went to Washington, one of my biggest goals was to make America a place where businesses could thrive and create good-paying jobs. Opportunity is what makes our country great. That meant cutting taxes and rolling back regulations that were throttling our businesses. And it's paid off. Our national economy is booming. It's a rocket ship. In the Senate, I'll fight to make sure our country's economy stays on track. I'm Kevin Kramer, candidate for Senate, and I approve this message because good-paying jobs matter.
Live the dream with exceptional deals on Chrysler Pacifica minivan, only at your local Chrysler dealer. Well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2018 Chrysler Pacifica for $338 a month. Up your van game today.
If you're feeling the chilly temps but not seeing the fall colors, you're not alone. The Minnesota DNR says this year's leaves are changing later than usual.
Fall colors are mostly determined by weather, and the most vibrant colors are seen when a humid, warm summer is exposed to cool fall days. The smallest change in September weather can cause colors to slow, whether it's too cold, warm, dry, or wet, which is why this year the color map is mostly yellow and green.
But when the time does come for those yellow and orange colors to pop, Explore Minnesota recommends visiting the North Shore and the Iron Range Loop to catch a glimpse.
With hundreds of people homeless in the Fargo-Moorhead area, a nonprofit organization is trying to raise awareness in the community. The Golden Drive began 5 years ago and has expanded to Bonanzaville in West Fargo. There are various activities, including a silent auction, bouncy houses, and carriage rides. The Golden Drive's mission is to get people talking about this important issue. Now, the event is tomorrow. It's going to run from 11 in the morning until 6 p.m.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, something new is coming to a tailgating lot near many of you.
Can-Do and Fosston in the 20s this morning with reports of flakes across the valley. Not too warm this Friday afternoon, and this evening we're cooling off quickly. We'll have details on who may see a few flakes on Saturday morning next.